Stockroom Supply.
Being in the sandpaper business and traveling around from one side of the country to the other, we get asked all the tough questions about sanding. And one of the toughest one we've had for years is, how do we sand molding? How do I sand molding quicker? How do I do it faster? How do I do it more efficient? How do I get a better job out of it? There is molding sanders available in the commercial market. They start at about $5,000 and go up from there. They use a head very similar to our sanding mop head, so we've designed a molding sander here using our sanding mop head that you can feed through by hand. The only difference between this one here and a commercial unit is that this one here you have to push the wood through by hand. So I'll just show you how it works here. The head that I'm using here today is a 220 grit head on this side and a 120 grit head on this side, and I'm using it in conjunction with our molding sander brackets. These brackets we've designed so that you can set the head into them, and then you have an adjustable head up and down. This shaft here lines up with your motor shaft, so everything pivots and your belt doesn't get loose or anything like that. We're going to feed the wood through underneath, and this is adjustable up and down. The motor requirements are a 1/2 horsepower motor. The pulley setup we give you is set up for a 1/2 horsepower 1750 RPM, 1750 RPM motor. So this one here is for pine, this one here is for hardwoods. Pine and poplar are both used on the 220 grit mop. Oaks, maples, cherries are used on the 120 grit mop. So just show you how this is set up. Now this is the piece of molding that I'm going to sand. This is a piece of 6-inch crown. It's a pine molding. This mop is not quite wide enough to handle the whole piece of molding in one shot. We do have 220 grit mops that are 8 inches wide. This happens to be our combo unit. So I'm going to sand half of this piece of molding so we should be able to see where I've sanded and where I have it. You're going to crank the speed on this mop. The mop is going to spin at 3,000 RPM. And I forgot to do one thing here. This is an adjustable assembly. I'm just going to adjust it down so we pick up the right thickness here. So we're just going to lay that mop right on top of the molding. Tighten it up. And that's going to be our adjustment for feeding our molding through. We turn the sander on. There we go. That's the result right there. Obviously you can see that the molding is clean. We've brushed all that sawdust off. We've sanded it smooth. So that's ready to finish after it comes out of the molding sander. Most of our customers with this bracket assembly up here just set up their dust hood right here and collect the dust right off the sander. So it saves about, it's called a 10-to-1 time saver. 1 minute with this is 10 minutes by hand, so it's quite a bit quicker. This is on a piece of pine. I'll show you the piece of hardwood here. Piece of hardwood molding. This molding is really bad, but we'll just set it up so it'll work. Actually the setup is about perfect right there. So we'll just feed this through on the 120 grit mop. There you go. You can see the results you get right there. That's how it works. These kits are available in the combination kit, all 120, all 180, and all 220. Very good in the 220 grit mop for sanding in between coats of finish. If you're a trim carpenter or doing a large amounts of trim, you can use them for sanding in between coats. There's our molding sander.